Hi guys, and welcome back. Let's go to page 70 on your student book. We got models of obligation. What do you think people might find difficult when they spend some time in a different culture? Okay, you're going to answer this question and then go to letter B. Read Culture Chalk. Find 4 things people might find difficult. You're going to read this article right here and you're going to find 4 things that people might find difficult. And then you're going to answer letter C. Have you ever experienced culture shock? When and where? Answer these 2. And then read the text again. Underline the words or phrases which express obligation and advice. Obligation is when you feel obligated on doing something, and advice is when you tell someone to do something but they're not obligated to do it. Okay? So let's check answers for letter B right here. You can pause the video. And you can also check your answers for letter D. Here you go. Check to have them correctly. Now, complete rules from 1 through 5 with the words in the box. Okay, here we have some models that give advice and some mean obligation. So depending on the context of the sentence, if you're giving advice or you think the person is obligated, you're going to choose the word. Okay, so again, you answer it and then you pause the video and check that your answers are correct. Here they are. Okay, moving on. Now go to Grammar Focus 6A on page 142. We move on to page 142. And here on page 142, we have the models of obligation explanation. Okay, so must and have to, we use must when we make the rules. If you're the person making the rules, you use must. Okay, and we use have to when we talk about other people's rules. So if it's your rules, it's a must. If it's other people's rules, you use have. Okay, so these are the 2 rules for using must and have, and you can read out the tips. You don't use contractions with have to, okay? You don't contract that. Often there's not much difference in meaning between must or have to. Have to is much more common than must, especially in spoken English. Have got to is also used in spoken English and means the same as have to. Questions with must are very rare. Okay, so let's move on. Mustn't, can't, and don't have to. We use mustn't or can't to say that something is not allowed. Okay, we're not allowed to do something. We often use mustn't when we make the rules and can't to talk about other people's rules. So here we go again. If it's negative, it's because we make the rules. Okay, and the can't negative is when other people make the rules. We don't use have to when there is no obligation. It means it's not necessary to do something. Okay, so here we go when we're telling somebody that they're not obligated to. Now, should and ought to. We use should or ought to give advice and recommendations. They have the same meaning, but should is much more common. Okay, here's when we're like giving kind of advice. Okay, when you review this, you're going to go to page 143 and you're going to answer this exercise right here. Okay, so after you answer it, you pause the video and check that your answers right here are correct for letter A. And you go right here and check that your answers are correct for letter B. Just remember when to use any of them, okay? Now we go back to page 70. Complete these rules about transport in your country. Use the verbs in the box. Now that we know the difference between if we make the rules, if other people make the rules, if they're obligated or not, as we've seen, you can go back on the video and watch why and how to use them. You're going to complete this box. So this is going to go according to our country. So we might have different ideas. Okay? And you answer that and go to letter H. A foreign visitor is coming to live in your country for 6 months. Prepare to give him or her some advice. use the ideas in the box and your own ideas to make a list of rules and tips. Okay, you're going to make this list of rules and tips. So you're going to make it has to be like 5 rules or tips, okay? And then take turns to read out your rules and discuss the questions. Okay, well, you're only going to answer the 3 questions about the rules you wrote down. Okay, and about speaking, read the questions and make notes about your answers. In this case, you're also going to answer these 2 questions. Which foreign country, other area would you like to study or do your job in, and why would you like to live there? Okay, answer these 2 questions, okay, because they are very personal. As soon as we finish page 70, we're going to move on to page 71. Okay, on page 71, 6B, it's tastier than I expected, describing food. Okay, do you see these pictures? You're going to see them very clearly in your book, all of these pictures. Look at all these vending machines, and then we got these delicious dishes. Okay, so let's see how we're going to be describing food. Look at photos A through E and discuss the questions. You're going to look at these pictures and you're going to answer the questions from 1 through 4. Then you're going to match the descriptions 1 through 5 with photos A through E. Okay? So you're going to read these descriptions right here. If there's a word you don't know, you need to check on it on a dictionary. Okay? So you're going to match them and you're going to write down the match. Now, to check your answers from the matching exercise, you can go ahead and look at it right here, okay? And then, which adjectives in 1B could you use to describe a salad, a soup, or a curry? Okay, remember adjectives are words that describe, okay? Again, you can check your answers right here on how to describe a salad, soup, or curry. Now go to Vocabulary Focus 6B on page 156. We go all the way to 156, describing food. Okay, we're going to have a lot of new words right here. Label the pictures using the pairs of adjectives in the box. Then listen and check. We have creamy, that means cremoso, crunchy, crujiente, fresh, fresco, dried, seco, cooked, cocinado, raw, crudo, heavy, pesado, light, ligero, sweet, dulce, sour, ácido. Okay, so depending on these words, you're going to label these pictures, okay? And again, you can check your answers right here if you have them correctly. We got lots of pairs for each answer, okay? Now we're going to go back where we started on page, oh, here we go, let me see, right here, page 70. Okay, now that we're back, okay, from 70 to 71, it says right here, let's see, oh, here it is. Now that we did the vocabulary exercise on page 156, now we're going to study pronunciation. Listen and repeat these words. Pay attention to the pronunciation of the letters SH and CH. Okay, listen.
Track 2.29. Sh. Fresh. Mash. Ch. Chocolate. Chop. Rich. Crunchy.
Okay, now you try and practice the pronunciation. You can go back and listen to it again. Now, a visitor has come to your town. You're going to give advice about where to go and what typical dishes to try. Okay, so you're going to imagine you have a visitor and you're going to give them now change roles and have a second conversation. Well, in this case, you don't have to write anything. You could have this conversation with anybody at your house or imagining that you're talking to a visitor. So now we go to listening. Look at the photo on the right and discuss the questions. Do you have vending machines in your country? What do they sell? We actually do think about the ones we have. How often do you use them? Okay, you're going to write down the answers to these 2 questions and then listen to part of a radio program about vending machines in Japan. In Japan, they have a vending machine almost for everything. You can find anything on a vending machine, okay? So you're going to listen to that radio program and you're going to answer these questions.
Track 2.30. Japan has by far the highest number of vending machines per person in the world. In fact, it has 5.6 million. That's one vending machine for every 20 people. These machines sell all sorts of things, from coffee to bananas, flowers, and umbrellas. In a busy society, they play an important role. It's much cheaper for sellers to run a vending machine than a shop, and customers can buy things more quickly and easily from a machine than in a shop. And we're not talking here just about drinks and cold snacks. Japan also has vending machines that serve hot food, like instant noodles. Japanese students love curry and rice. It's one of the most popular meals there, and, sure enough, you can get it from a machine. The meal comes out of the machine hot and ready to eat. It's more convenient than cooking at home. But is curry and rice from a machine as good as curry and rice from a restaurant? Our reporter Luke went to central Tokyo to find out.
Okay, I've just put my 300 yen into the vending machine and I'm waiting for my curry and rice to appear. It's taking a bit longer than I imagined. Okay, so my meal is here. I just have to open the packet of steamed rice. The curry smells, well, it smells okay, like a lot of instant curries. Right, let me go and find somewhere to sit down and try it. Okay, this will do. Well, this is fine. It's actually much better than I expected. What can I say? I think it might be the best vending machine meal I've ever eaten. Just not the best curry I've ever eaten. For 300 yen, that's less than £2, I can't really complain. But I think next time I'll spend a bit more and go to a proper restaurant.
Okay, now that you listen to it, answer these questions. And would you buy hot food from vending machines? Okay, think about it and answer. That's today's class. See you soon.